One thing about Rick is he wants to live. I mean, I don't want to die anymore. I mean, there was a time when I think I had a death wish, you know, and I never wanted to go out like this.
Have you ever wondered? Behind the glittering funk glow of Motown, behind those dance floor shaking hits, there are bedroom secrets nobody dares to whisper about. Have you ever wondered? Those soul queens, those voices that bring the whole world to its knees, ever lay in the arms of one man and paid for it with their very souls? According to a nurse's word-of-mouth account, Rick James, the super freak, the king of punk funk, the guy who once declared, "I live like a modern-day Caligula," before he left this world for good in 2004, confessed on his deathbed in that hospital room about the list of the 9 hottest Motown singers he'd ever slept with. Listen up, hear me out. Before I go, I gotta spill it all. In this room, ain't nobody left but me and these ghosts. I'm Rick James, super freak, king of funk. But right now, I'm just an old man about to die. Heart big as a bass drum, full of drugs, full of women, full of sin. I used to think I conquered them all. The 9 hottest Motown chicks, those soul queens, those sexy icons of the 80s. But me? I burned them, then left nothing but ashes. One cheated on me, one was the wife of a major male star, and one couldn't even speak up because I had the tapes. You ready to hear this? Because once this list drops, you won't look at Motown the same, won't look at Fire and Desire, won't look at Super Freak the same ever again. Number 1 starts with the one woman who truly broke Rick James's heart right up to his dying bed. Don't miss it. Like and subscribe right now so you don't miss the next part. The first secret is about to be revealed. 1. Tina Marie, A Soul Borrowed. In the Flames of Desire, memory takes us back to a late night at Motown Studios in Los Angeles in 1979. Red neon lights spill through the windows, bass still echoing from the just-finished session. Rick James stands there, tall frame, dreadlocks hanging loose, masculine cologne mixed with cigarette smoke. He watches Tina Marie run through a take, and suddenly, he's frozen. Her voice, passionate, powerful, like fire burning, makes him blurt out, "I've never heard a voice like that come out of a white girl." Rick signs Tina on the spot. He turns her into his protege, co-writes, "I'm a sucker for your love," then Fire and Desire, the R&B smash that shakes the world. Tina once said in an old interview they were briefly engaged, just 2 weeks, but their friendship ran so deep, Rick called her his soulmate in his memoir. They spent hours in the studio, laughing, sharing little secrets. But behind the dim lights, there's a dark corner few know about. One night, after wrapping Fire and Desire, Rick invites Tina to his Mulholland Drive mansion, the place where parties never end. The master bedroom is pitch black, only flickering candles and the faint smell of cocaine. Rick pulls her close, whispers in her ear, "You're my fire. Burn me up." The kiss explodes, their bodies tangle on black silk sheets. Tina gives back with all her allure, pale, smooth skin contrasting his gleaming black, her voice whispering in his ear like a deadly invitation. They merge, lost in passion, time forgotten, but in the heat of it, Tina accidentally opens the nightstand drawer. A photo falls out. Alfie Davidson and Rick's illegitimate child. She freezes, tears welling. "You used me to write songs, used my body to forget someone else, but you never really belonged to me." Rick holds her tight, voice hoarse. "You're my soulmate, but I can't stop." The next morning, Tina leaves in silence. The wound runs too deep. She writes Casanova Brown as a subtle but cutting accusation. "You let me sing lullabies to your baby, while hiding it's with someone else." Tina still worked with Rick until 2004, duetting on I Got You from her album La Doña. But the love was shattered. She lived alone, never married, until she passed in 2010 from complications. Rick, in the final pages of his memoir, admits Tina was the only woman who truly hurt him. His charm was like a drug, burned Tina, left emotional ashes, turned love into creative fuel and eternal pain. Picture a private party at Berry Gordy's Beverly Hills mansion in 1979. French wine flows, laughter echoes from the pool. Rick James stands in the corner, eyes locked on Diana Ross. She's in a simple white dress, long glossy hair, radiating untouchable queen energy. Diana is Motown's sacred queen, the woman Berry Gordy once loved madly, the one the whole label treated as off-limits. As the party winds down, everyone's drunk, Rick slips upstairs. His heart pounds like the bass drum in Super Freak. Diana's door is ajar. She's sitting at the mirror, dress slipping off. Rick steps in, voice hoarse. "Diana, you're the queen. Let me touch the throne just once." Diana turns, eyes cold. "Get out." But Rick's pull, tall frame, burning gaze, masculine scent, makes the air thick enough to choke. A forbidden moment happens. He pulls her close, the kiss sudden. Their bodies tangle on the king-size satin-covered bed. Diana, with her legendary beauty, flawless skin, perfect curves, responds for a split second. Desire crashes into power. But minutes later, she pushes him away, voice shaking. "That's enough." The next morning, Diana sits up, hair messed, eyes full of fury. Without a word, she calls her assistant. "Send a lawyer letter to Rick James. Ban him from ever mentioning my name, publicly or privately, forever." The letter reaches Rick in just 48 hours. Motown goes silent. No collabs, no mentions. Rick writes in his journal, "The coldest queen I ever touched. I got burned for daring to dream." Diana goes on as a global icon, but her eyes at later Motown events, like staring at an intruder. Rick kept that secret to his grave, a wound that never healed. His charm was a blade, daring to invade the queen, leaving scars of power and lust. Diana never admitted it. But that night turned Rick from punk-funk king into a defeated man before Motown's throne. 2. Diana Ross, the queen and one wrong night that ended it all. And then Rick James couldn't help but frown when he mentioned this woman. In early 1979, when Motown was riding high with timeless hits, Rick James and Diana Ross started crossing paths at label parties and internal events. They first met at a celebration bash for Rick's Street Songs album in March 1979. Back then, Diana, already a global icon with Ain't No Mountain High Enough and Upside Down, still had that legendary beauty, powerhouse voice, and queenly aura that commanded respect. Rick, fresh off his punk-funk breakout, was instantly hooked. He wrote in his memoir that Diana was the only woman who ever made me feel small. They talked more at shared Motown sessions, late-night calls, chance run-ins in L.A. Not public romance, but a tempting acquaintance. Rick with his deadly masculine pull, Diana with her cool but magnetic beauty. Then came the night of May 11th, 1979, at Berry Gordy's Beverly Hills mansion. The party had long ended. Last guests gone, laughter fading, French wine scent lingering. Moonlight pours through big windows onto polished wood floors. Rick James, 31, stays behind, not for the booze, but for a temptation he couldn't fight anymore after months of charged vibes. He climbs the stairs, heart slamming like Super Freak bass. Diana's door is half open. He pushes gently. She's at the vanity, mirror reflecting a tired but still stunning face. Diana turns, voice cold. "What are you doing here, Rick? We're just friends." Rick doesn't answer right away. He steps in, shuts the door. The room suddenly feels heavy, just their breathing. He moves closer, hoarse and magnetic. "Diana, you know what I think about you. Stop pretending." Diana stands, eyes locked on him. She could call security, scream. But in that instant, Rick's pull, tall build, burning eyes, cologne mixed with hot breath, makes her hesitate. Just 1 second. And that's enough. He pulls her in. The first kiss isn't gentle. It's fierce, like the funk storm he created. Diana responds, not from love, but a rare weak moment for a woman who always had to be strong. Her nails dig into his shoulders. They fall onto the white satin king-size bed. Clothes drop. Diana's body, perfect curves, smooth skin under moonlight, merges with Rick's gleaming black. He whispers sweet and dirty in her ear. "You're so beautiful, I can't breathe." Diana says nothing, just bites her lip, lets him lead. That night stretches, full of muffled moans, forbidden touches, moments both knew were wrong. At dawn, Diana wakes first. She sits up, hair wild, eyes raging with regret. Rick sleeps beside her. She doesn't wake him. Instead, she calls her assistant, voice ice cold. "Send the lawyer letter to Rick James. Ban him from ever mentioning my name, publicly or privately, forever." The letter hits Rick 2 days later, May 13th, 1979. Motown goes dead silent. No collabs, no mentions, no explanation. Diana keeps her legendary career, becomes a global symbol. But from then on, every Motown event encounter, her eyes are ice, like staring at an intruder who dared touch the throne. Rick kept that secret to his deathbed. In his memoir, he only wrote one short line, "The coldest queen I ever touched. I got burned for daring to dream." That night of May 11th, 1979, wasn't love, wasn't passion. It was a scar of power and lust, a scar Diana Ross carried for life and Rick James carried to his grave. A dark corner of Motown where the queen was violated and the punk-funk king became the loser in one single night. 3. Patti LaBelle, the soul queen, forced into an emotional exorcism. One freezing drizzly December evening in 1987, at Rick James's private Detroit studio, wind howling through dark industrial streets, light snow starting outside fogged windows, Patti LaBelle walks in wearing a long fur coat covering her frame. She's 43, still the immortal soul queen with a voice that shakes big stages. Rick, 39, greets her with that familiar half-smile, eyes burning like he wants to see through her soul. The studio's warm but stifling, dim red lights, stale coffee smell mixed with cigarette smoke and Patti's heavy perfume. They only know each other from a few Motown events and shared parties, never close. Rick pours red wine, voice low. "Patti, today I want you to try something different. Not regular singing. I want to hear your soul, raw, uncovered." Patti laughs big, thinking it's Rick's usual funk joke. She shrugs off the coat, sits at the mic. Rick kills the extra lights, leaves one red bulb hanging. He whispers, "Take off your top. Nobody's watching, just the mic and me. This is an exorcism, freeing emotions." Patti hesitates, looks at him. Rick's magnetism hits like magic. Shirt unbuttoned, showing ripped body, dreads loose, hot breath on her neck. She slips off her blouse, down to bra and pants, feeling vulnerable but strangely thrilled. Rick hits record. Patti starts a slow ballad. Her voice rises, strong, full of sorrow. But Rick doesn't stop. He steps closer, hand lightly on her shoulder. "Sing like you're crying, like you're dying slow." Patti keeps singing, but now it's not just singing. She moans, gasps, lets emotions pour like tears. Moans blend into melody. Heavy breathing blasts through speakers. Rick records it all, eyes unblinking. No physical touch, but the intimacy is more dangerous, like two naked souls crashing in a locked room. When playback hits, Patty collapses in the chair, hands over face, voice trembling. This isn't music. This is sin. Erase it all, Rick. I don't want to hear it again. Rick looks at her, voice low and sad. I can't erase it. This is part of your soul, and part of mine. Patty dresses, walks out into the rain, coat soaked, silent. From then on, she's quieter than ever. Fewer interviews, less talk of the past, like she locked away a piece of herself. Rick keeps the raw tape copy in a safe, never releases it. He once whispered to a close friend, Patty's the queen, but I forced her to stare into her own darkness. 4. Donna Summer, the disco queen, living in fear of a secret cassette. One sweltering August afternoon in 1980 at a small Hollywood studio, blazing sun cutting through thin curtains, outside temp hitting 95 degrees, Donna Summer walks in wearing a tight short dress, big curly hair, sunglasses hiding exhaustion from long nights on stage. Rick James, 32, at his street song's peak, greets her with that signature seductive smile. The studio's stuffy despite full AC, sweat smell mixed with sweet perfume and cigarette smoke swirling. They've crossed paths at indirect Motown events and parties, but never tight. Rick pours iced water, voice hoarse. Donna, today I want a raw ballad. Just you and me, nobody else. Donna smiles, thinking cool collab chance. They start recording a slow, lust-themed ballad. Donna's voice flows sweet, seductive, like velvet. Rick at the mixer, eyes glued to her. Air heats up, not just the weather. He steps closer, hand light on her back. Sing like you're making love, like you're dying slow from desire. Donna keeps singing, voice quivering. Rick suddenly kills the studio lights, leaves only red glow from the console. He pulls her close, first kiss soft, then wild. They crash onto the old couch in the corner. Clothes fly off. Donna's body, perfect disco curves, merges with Rick. Her moans feed into the still-running mic. Rick had hit record earlier, without a word. Moans, panting breaths, dirty whispers, all captured on cassette tape. When it's over, Donna sits up, hair wild, eyes wide, seeing the red record light blinking. Panic. Rick, what did you record? Turn it off now. Rick laughs, hoarse. This tape keeps you with me, forever. Don't worry, only I listen. Donna leaves into the harsh sun, sweat-soaked, heart full of terror. From then on, she lives haunted. Every TV sighting of Rick, every rumor of a new album, she fears that cassette leaking. Rick keeps it in a safe, hand-labeled, Summer Night Do Not Destroy. After his 2004 death, the tape's found, never opened. Donna never mentions Rick publicly. That fear followed her to the grave, a dark secret turning the disco queen into a prisoner of her own voice. 5. Chaka Khan, Funk Queen, and the Amsterdam Cheating Night. Ever wonder how one wild party night could turn the fiercest 80s funk queen into a silent woman, eyes darkening every time she hears Rick James's name? June 21, 1981, at Amsterdam's Hilton Hotel, 10th floor, the infamous 10th floor party becomes Chaka Khan's private hell. Cool European night outside, but inside the luxury suite, it's blazing like a furnace. Cigarette smoke, hard liquor, expensive perfume mixing. Rick's funk blasts from big speakers, laughter, clinking bottles, shadowy bodies dancing. Chaka, 28, fresh off a tough personal year, steps in wearing sparkling sequin dress, big afro, voice still echoing from Tell Me Something Good. Rick, 33, party host, greets her with deadly smile. "Chaka, tonight you're my queen." They know each other from shared European tour, Rick James and Chaka Khan performing in cities from Paris to London. No public affair, no official romance rumors. Chaka always strong, independent, once snapped back at gossip. "Hell no, I ain't touching him." But that night is different. As the party peaks, Rick pours Chaka strong champagne, whispers in her ear, "Relax, queen. Tonight, nobody judges." Chaka laughs, downs the glass. Air blurs. Others in the room, bass player, backup singers, party girls, start leaving or fading into dark corners. Just the two on the big leather couch in the living room. Rick pulls her closer. The first kiss isn't clearly consensual. Chaka pushes lightly, but exhaustion and booze slow her. They tangle, clothes in chaos, heavy breathing mixing with background music. Not love, not passion. Just a lost control moment, chaotic and wordless lust. Next morning, June 22, 1981, weak sunlight through curtains. Chaka wakes on the couch, hair wrecked, dress twisted, lips swollen, body aching. Rick sleeps beside her. She stares at him a while, eyes going dark. No tears right then. She quietly dresses, calls her private driver, leaves the hotel without a word to anyone in the tour group. Chaka pulls out of the European tour hours later. No notice, no explanation. Press whispers, Chaka Khan health issues. But insiders know something broke. Years later, in a 2020 interview, asked about Rick, Chaka laughs harshly. "Hell no, I ain't touching him. He's too dirty, too drained." But her eyes darken, voice shakes a bit. Chaka's close friend once shared privately. Some nights she'd sit alone in hotel rooms, crying from disgust, not from feelings, but from feeling her control stripped away. Rick never mentions that night. He stays quiet, like he knows some wounds need no apology. 6. Mary Jane Girls, the group torn apart by bedroom jealousy. Now for a bombshell rumor, a smash like In My House, born from lust and betrayal, breaking up the whole group over one night on a grand piano. March 15, 1985, at Rick James' Laurel Canyon Mansion in Los Angeles. Warm night, soft breeze, off the pool. Inside the big living room, crystal chandelier lights gleam on the black grand piano. Rick, 37, in production mode for Mary Jane Girls' debut album, the sexy girl group he created at Motown. He's producer, image daddy, short skirts, long hair, come hither eyes. Joanne McDuffie, Joanne, Candace Cant, Yvette Marine, Sherry Wells, 4 young, ambitious women hand-picked by Rick from hundreds. That night, Rick sets a private session with Joanne, his muse for In My House. The others aren't invited. Joanne arrives in tight red dress, long curly hair, confident smile. Rick greets with wine, hoarse, "Joanne, tonight you're the center. I want you to feel this hit with your whole body." They start at the piano. Rick plays melody. Joanne tries lyrics. Air heats fast. Rick pulls her onto his lap on the piano bench. Kiss explodes. Clothes hit wood floor. They go at it wildly right on the grand, keys clanging randomly as bodies hit them, Joanne's moans blending with In My House melody. Rick whispers, "You're my inspiration. You're my house tonight." Next morning, March 16, 1985, Joanne wakes on the couch, body sore, satisfied smile. But Rick's attitude flips. Cold. Good. Now back to work with the group. Joanne gets replaced instantly. Rick starts giving more time to Candace, then Yvette. Sessions turn tense. Jealousy spreads. Cherie whispers to Yvette, "He uses us like toys." Joanne tries staying calm, but her eyes scream hurt. The group slowly crumbles. By 1987, Mary Jane Girls officially disband after second album. The women leave Motown, never work with Rick again. Joanne later lives quietly, rarely mentions that era. Rick stays silent on that night, but in his memoir admits, "Mary Jane Girls were my masterpiece, but I destroyed them with my own lust." A million-selling hit, born from desire on a piano, turns into the knife that cut sisterhood and 4 young women's careers. 7. Vanity. Almost died from Rick's lust. Ever think a mansion party could turn a girl once Prince's muse into a woman who nearly died, left alone in the middle of Rick James's frenzy, November 4th, 1983, at Rick James' Laurel Canyon Mansion in Los Angeles. Cool night, but inside scorching like fire. Pink-purple neon floods the big living room, funk pounding from speakers, cocaine and hard liquor smells everywhere. Vanity, real name Denise Katrina Matthews, 24, fresh from Prince's grip with bold, sexy image, walks in wearing sheer black mesh dress, long jet black hair, fiery red lips. Rick calls her Prince's cursed gift, the cursed prize he takes from Prince. They know each other through Motown Prince circles, and after Vanity leaves Prince, Rick quickly pulls her into his world. Party drags into late hours. Vanity drinks heavy, does stimulants with everyone. Rick parties with 3 other women, 2 models, 1 backup singer, on the big central couch. They laugh, kiss, clothes scattered. Vanity sits in a corner, eyes glazing from fatigue and substances. She slumps on a sofa, body limp, lips blue, breathing shallow. Nobody notices. Rick glances once, turns back, keeps going with the 3. Laughter drowning music. Near dawn, November 5th, one girl notices Vanity's breathing uneven. Lips gray, pulse weak. Panic, call 911. Paramedics rush her to hospital critical, overdose plus exhaustion. Doctor says 1 more hour delay, she might not make it. Vanity wakes in stark white room, talks to no one, just whispers, "I died once," from his lust. She cuts all ties with Rick, leaves the mansion, changes name to Denise Matthews, starts spiritual rebirth journey. No more sexy Vanity, just Denise, quiet woman rarely mentioning the past. Rick never apologizes publicly, stays silent on that night, but in memoir calls Vanity the flame I let burn then left to ashes. A supposedly fun party pushes Vanity to death's edge, turns her into a ghost of the sexy image Rick once craved. 8. John Gay, Marvin Gaye's wife. Pulled into a sinful night after her husband's death. And then a close friendship between 2 Motown legends could get wrecked by one comfort night full of guilt on the bed. April 1st, 1984, just days after Marvin Gaye was shot dead. April 1st, 1984, at his L.A. home. Jan Gay, Marvin's wife, 28, drowns in grief and chaos. Jan, beautiful former model and backup singer, had lived through stormy marriage with Marvin, Rick James's closest friend. Rick, 36, comes to Jan's house to pay respects at mutual Motown friends' urging. Light rain in L.A., heavy air in the home once Marvin's haven. Jan on sofa, red eyes, wine glass in hand. Rick enters, hugs her longer than usual. Whispers, "I'm here for you, Jan. Marvin was my brother. I'll take care of you." They talk late into night. Memories of Marvin, shared pain. Wine flows, tears fall. Rick pulls Jan close, first kiss gentle comfort, then quickly turns to lust. They go to the bedroom, where Jan once slept beside Marvin, and have sex in guilty silence. Jan cries the whole time, nails digging into Rick's back, whispering, "I'm betraying him, but I need to feel alive." Rick doesn't stop, body wrapping her like erasing the pain. Next morning, Jan wakes alone, Rick gone early. She sits on the bed, stares at Marvin's photo on the table, tears streaming. I sold out his memory. Jan cuts contact with Rick, lives with lifelong guilt. She never tells publicly, but Jan's close friend later reveals. Some nights she'd cry alone from the massive betrayal feeling. Rick keeps that as his darkest secret in memoir. He writes, "Jan was a woman I cared for, but I turned her pain into my lust." A night meant for comfort becomes a knife in Marvin Gaye's memory, leaving Jan Gaye in guilt till her end. 9. Linda Blair, the hottest actress Rick ever slept with, and this might be the most heartbreaking story on the list. From June 1982 to early 1984, Linda Blair, 23, famous from The Exorcist and killer sexy looks, enters Rick's life after a joint Rolling Stone interview. They meet at a Hollywood party, Rick instantly hooked by her blue eyes, killer body, mischievous smile. Linda, not Motown but hot 80s icon, becomes the sexiest woman Rick ever had. He writes cold-blooded, inspired by her, lyrics dripping lust. She's cold-blooded, she got me hypnotized. One October 1983 night at Laurel Canyon Mansion, warm LA evening, pool lights sparkling outside. Linda arrives in red backless dress, blonde hair loose. Rick greets with champagne whispers, "You're the sweetest nightmare I ever had." They go wild on the king-size bed, laughter mixed with moans, bodies locked like they can't separate. Linda freezes his blood with intense sexual pull, driving him crazy enough to write non-stop songs about her. But early 1984, Linda finds out she's pregnant. She doesn't tell Rick. Fears messing with his career and wild lifestyle. One rainy February 1984 afternoon, Linda quietly goes to a private Beverly Hills clinic, does what she does, nobody knows. She cries all night after, but doesn't call Rick. When they meet again, Linda's colder, slowly pulls away. Rick hurts, presses. "What's wrong?" Linda just sad smiles. "I need time." They officially split April 1984. Rick never knows what happened in that clinic. In memoir, he writes, "Linda was the hottest actress I ever lost. I still feel cold whenever I think of her." Linda lives quietly after, rarely mentions Rick. A passionate romance ends in secret abortion. Silent pain Rick carries to his grave, like an unhealed wound. So we've gone through the full list of Motown's darkest secrets behind the glamour. From wild nights, unhealed heart wounds, to Rick James's final whispers on his deathbed. Do you believe these stories are real, or just overhyped gossip from drama-filled showbiz? Either way, Motown, the birthplace of world-shaking hits, was never just light and sweet melodies. Behind the funk notes, immortal soul voices, always lurked shadows. Lust, betrayal, hidden pain, secrets only insiders know. Rick James is gone, but those ghosts linger, quiet in old recordings, in memories of queens who crossed his path. If you want to dig deeper into Motown R&B, funk, and soul's dark legends, stories never fully told, subscribe to Black Legend Files right now. Hit the bell so you don't miss. Like if you're shocked. Comment below. Which secret is the darkest? Who was Rick James's biggest victim? Thanks for sticking till the end. See you in the next dark corners. Black Legend Files, where painful truth gets told.